Okay, back with turn 2. This is the 6:30 a.m. turn of Glory 3 Antietam. This is for my 160th anniversary playthrough of the Battle of Antietam. Turn 1 has already been into the books, with having Hooker leading his attack down the Hagerstown Pike and making good headway after turn 1. You can see here with the large overview of the map, his units to the north up here, making some good progress here, pushing back Confederates over here by the West Woods, and a little bit over here coming out of the Miller cornfield. Capturing the Mama Farm already, right here, and positioning for an attack. Also, too, that's significant, and let me zoom you in with my second camera. The significant piece of it here is the fact of the number of Confederate units, Jones's units that are disordered, Lawton's units that are disordered, and Hood's units that are disordered, and Hill's units that are disordered. Significant hits were taken by the Confederates for those small gains. Union was not immune. Both Ricketts and Meade took some hits over there, as well as Gibbon on the other side, and battling with Stuart a little bit. So Hooker's going to continue his attack. That's what we've got set up here. The Union won the initiative, and Hooker is the one who is starting. So I'm going to put that off to the side over here. And he's going to go first with his activations. So it's a continuation of Hooker's attack. And in looking at these attacks, it's a little tough situation, particularly with the disordered units of Ricketts and Meade over here. They're in a good position to push, but the problem is the units are not in a good state to attack. Disordered units really cannot attack in a turn that they're in a disordered state. So now it becomes a question of what happens and how do we handle this. Well, the first thing, I think, with particularly Meade's units over here, they're going to need to recover somehow. Like to push back Law's second half brigade, or demi brigade, that's sitting out here on the Hagerstown Pike. That would give them more room to push in there. But these two units are disordered. One of these will potentially recover this turn because he was not moving, but this unit's going to have to move back to get out of there. And then potentially Magdalen can come back over and join into an attack over here and try to push these up. Little tough because the attack's going to be on open ground. Good cohesion of 7. Of course, Meade's got Seymour's got a good cohesion of 7, so they cancel them out. Best thing they can get is the +2 on the attack if they don't take defensive fire and get knocked out. So a little tough over here. Also, too, that would require Doubleday to kind of pull back to cover this opening flank over here. So just some decisions here I just wanted to point out that makes it a little bit difficult to figure out how to make the attack. And actually, I'm going to flip you around here so that there we go, so that you're looking from the Union side. And now you can see, a little bit difficult choices here for what to do, because if they swing back over here, Stuart gets a little bit more freedom to attack and kind of disrupt Hooker's right flank. But in the meantime, they're pushing for the center over here, and I think something like that has got to occur to make this happen. So I think with that being said, I think we're going to start off with Meade attacking, and his guns are going to shoot down the line, 1, 2, 3, into the woods at Lawton's group over here. So it's range of 3, they're a strength of 3, so it's going to be +3 to start off. Range of 3 at medium, it's going to be no modifiers there. And then into the woods is no modifiers, so it's going to be a +3 on Lawton. So it's 9 + 3 is 12. Hey, the lead unit there, he is going to get a 12, so he's going to take a CR here. So that's going to be that unit right there. So he's a 7. He needs a 7 or less to stay there. He rolls an 8. Wow, Meade's artillery did the job. They knock out Hayes right there, and now they have fired. Okay, so far so good for Meade. Now, as I said, we're going to have these guys take a step back, and they will go under him. They will also be a no rally because they moved. And then Seymour will be a rally because he didn't move. Yep. There we go. Okay, now we'll order Magdalene to come across here like so. And now they'll combine to attack Law over here. So Law will have a defensive fire. Now he could fire both of these with a -1 on each roll, or he can fire at just 1. And I think he's going to go for just a 1. This one over here, Magdalene, who just moved over, because he was a 6. Now Law is not disordered, and he does have open ground, so it's going to be a +1 on the dice roll, and it's going to be he needs a 6 or higher than a 6, so 7 or higher to knock him out. It rolls a 0, so that's a miss. So the attack continues, and now we're going to get these guys teaming up against them. So they are 8 against 3 for strength, so it's a 2-to-1, +2 there. Cohesions, largest cohesions a match, so there's no cohesion difference. Terrain is open, so there's no modifiers. Actually, there is one there because it is open terrain. The odds modifier actually shifts up 1 because there's a fraction here. He's 8-3, that's 2-to-1 with a fraction. The fractions round up in open terrain, so it's actually a 3-to-1 advantage. So it's a +3. And that's about it. So they need a 5 or better to push him back with a +3. 3 + 3 is 6. That'll do it. Defender retreats and potentially suffers a disorder. So now his retreat, he's only got really one spot to go, which is here, which is already has one of his units stacked in there already. So what's going to happen is he's going to retreat in here. One of these units is going to have to displace, which I think it's going to be the where am I? Here I am. So it's going to be his first demi brigade. He'll displace back there. Now he will have to take a cohesion test. So he's a 6. Needs a 6 or less. Rolls a 2. He's fine. There's no second break there. And then Law will have to take a cohesion test. That's the second part of his results. And he's 7, so he'll need 7 or less. 3. He's okay. Alright, so this leaves a little bit precarious position because he's still in good shape. And one unit has to move up. It's going to be him. Like so, and I think he's going to actually pivot this way, provide a little bit more defense. Okay, so that's all for the attacking. Now we've got a rally over here with Seymour. He is a cohesion of 5, needs a 5 or less. Rolls a 7, doesn't do it. And then, of course, Anderson, below him, cannot rally. So there we are with Meade. He's done. So with that done, push them out. Still have a good attack going here. Ricketts, on the other hand here, now has a decision. Ricketts was going to go after these guys over here, but now it's a little bit trickier because this is open. Well, they're disordered, aren't they? They're, yeah, disordered. He's good. So first off, I think Ricketts' battery back here in the woods fire down the road, Smoketown Road. 1, 2, 3 hexes. He's 2 strength point long. At 2 is 3 is 0. So no modifiers there, and train is open, so there's no effect in there as well. So it's a +2, targeting the top unit right there, Ripley B. So they roll 4 + 2 is 6. That's not going to do it. He needed a 9 or higher. So Ricketts' battery is done. So now the question becomes, how do we want to handle this? Because we really want to get these guys recovered without suffering more, and also too, he needs to provide some defensive support to Meade's left, that is. All right, I think I'm going to go with the other way because I think they're going to be covered fairly well here. Ricketts is going to send Duryea 1, 2, 3, and in with Hartsoff 4. And they are going to attack Colquitt and actually Colquitt's full brigade, who are disordered. So Colquitt will get defensive fire, of course. They'll need to roll a 7 or higher. Now they get the train because it's open, so it's a +1, but they're also disordered. It's a -1. So that puts them back down to nothing. So they need to roll a 7 or higher to stop it. They roll a 1. They don't stop him. So now Hartsoff and Duryea combine for 9 against 7. That's going to be a 1-to-1, but because they're in the open, that's higher. The odds round up, so it's going to be a 3-to-2 for a +1. Then our cohesions, it's 6 and 5, and then 6 and 6 over here. So cohesions are the same, so it's going to be 0 with that. And terrain we already covered. It's not rear, so it's a +1 on the dice roll. Let's see what happens. Roll a 7, +1 is 8. They needed a 5 or higher. So the defender retreats and undergoes a cohesion test. And then if they fail, they disorder again. So they're going to retreat 1 to there. So we'll go to the top unit, which is Colquitt A, which is 5. They roll a 3, they're okay. And then the bottom one, Colquitt B, they roll a 4, which is less than 6, so they're okay. So they didn't foul out yet. And then Duryea, because they're the same cohesion, either one of them can go in. Duryea is going to advance up. So that was successful to push them back behind there. Now Hill's guns are now somewhat in trouble. He may have to retreat, or he may fire a canister into them. We'll see. But now we get rally phase, which both Christensen and Hartsoff B will try to recover. We'll take Hartsoff B. They need a 6 or less. Roll a 9. They don't do it. And then Christensen needs a 5 or less. They roll a 3. So they're back in good shape. Okay. So there we have it. So that's all for Ricketts. And next we have Doubleday over here. With Doubleday, his guns are a little bit far out of the way. So I think they're going to move. There's not going to be any firing. They're actually going to move, and we'll start with them. So they'll move 2 to there, 4 to there. I believe that's going to be Orchard is 4, yeah. That's too close. Shoot. Hold on, let me revise that. I don't like that. It's getting too close to Stuart's cavalry over there. I'm thinking that they'll want to actually go 2, 5, and 2, 5 into there. Okay, now for movement over here. Now they were also out of command, which means they couldn't move adjacent to enemy units, but that's okay. So the rest of these are in command, just by nature of where Doubleday is. So, tricky part here is these guys. Okay, he can't recover, so he's good there, holding the ground. It's just annoying here with these guns and everything right here. I'd like to get Gibbon recovered. He's in a good position to do that. He could move 2 into there and attack Lee. He'd have to stay with the guns because those guns aren't horse artillery. Kind of draws him away from the main attack a little bit, but I do have Mansfield coming up with Williams' brigade down here as well. We can't leave him on the flank, so I think what we'll do is have Hoffman turn and go this way. Patrick is going to stay where he is. Gibbon is going to stay where he is. And I think we're going to have Phelps come back into here. And they will attack J.R. Jones and Stuart's cavalry. Now, Stuart's cavalry cannot, or well, they could run, but that means that they're in trouble. Now, the artillery, they can fire, but if they fire at one target, they can get their +2 modifier. If they fire at both targets, they won't. And then the cavalry, of course, cannot defensive fire. Okay. So I think we're going to try going for both of them. Foregoing the cavalry, the artillery bonus. But there is a -1 for woods, and they're both in woods, so that's a little bit painful. So that's 2 -1 1. Just be a +1 on either of them. Well, I better do it that way. So J.R. Jones is just going to fire at Hoffman there. So he'll be +2 -1 for the woods. So it's a +1. He needs a 6, 7 or higher with +1. 5 goes to 6. It doesn't do it. So the attack continues. This is going to be tough on the Jeb Stuart's cavalry here. So Fitzhugh Lee is a 3. They are 7s. So that's 3 to 1, or excuse me, 2 to 1. Now they are in open terrain. So they will round up, so it's going to be 3 to 1, so it's +3. The cohesion is 6 and 6, so the cohesion is the same, so there's no benefit there. Terrain modifiers, there's nothing, so it's just that. So it's 3 on the dice roll for the Union. Roll 3 plus 2 is 5. Just barely gets what they need. Defender retreats, undergoes a cohesion test. So the artillery is going to go back in with. Actually, he'll go in with Fitzhugh Lee's units over here. He can do that, and he'll take his cohesion test. And he rolls a 2. He is okay. And then Fitzhugh A comes back in with Stuart's, with Pelham's guns, and they'll be a 6 or less. They roll a 4, so they're okay. So they actually break through, and now one of the units has to advance. Both same cohesion, but I think we'll do this unit, and he's going to pivot like that. Okay, so that's all the fighting over there. Now Gibbon over here, he's a 6. He needs a 6 or less to recover. Rolls a 5, so Gibbon is back in good shape, and he's actually going to pivot after that. Okay, so there we have it. That's all of Hooker's first activation. His attack seems to be holding up pretty good, despite not getting everybody back in good shape. There's a few that did. So next one that comes up, hopefully you can see here, oops, I got it backwards, there we go, is Stuart. So again, back over in this area, and also Mumford down there, we've got Stuart's cavalry a little bit beat up over here, and I think they're going to have to figure out some sort of defense. Now first off, we've got our artillery, and I think, because they really can't attack, both their units have been beat up, I think they're just going to have to retreat. So there's no artillery fire, and they're going to retreat. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 up to here. They are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Actually, he's going to spin around. Okay, that's better. So now we have artillery over here. They'll have to go 2, 4. Oh, I don't like that. And then actually go 5. I think we're going to bring them back there. We're also going to bring the other disrupted cavalry back over there as well. Stuart will go with them, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you should be able to have them in range. And then we also have Fitzhugh Lee up here. Oops, where are you? He's just off camera. Right there. He's right there. He's going to stay put. He's a threat. So he will stay right there. Okay, so that was Stuart's response. The next one we get is Hayes's artillery. Those are the guns over here east of Antietam Creek. So let me flip you over to the other camera. We can take a look at this. So over here, on this side of the river, we have 1 artillery unit there, 2 artillery units there, 3 artillery units there. Now they can only fire, they cannot move. And last time they did some damage to G.B. Anderson's brigade over here. And probably will do same type of attack. Okay, there we go. So now we have 2 batteries here and here firing across the river. We're kind of looking south west on the board. So we're going to start off with the C battery over here, firing once again at GB Andersons over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 is their range, +4 for their strength. So it's just going to be a +4 on the dice. They need a 9 or higher. Roll a 5, +4 is 9. That's a cohesion check. So they are a 5. They roll a 7. So this is our first casualty. So DH Hill A goes into our withdrawn box so that they can recover. So that was a good hit on them. Second firing is the B unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Range of 6. They're a long. So there's no modifier. It's a +3 for strength. So they'll need a 9 or greater with a +3. They roll an 11, so it's a cohesion check. Rhodes is a 7 or less. Roll a 5. They're okay. This other gun really doesn't have any range on anybody because they are down below here, so they're effectively blocked from the south side over, and then to the north, the range is just too long there. Okay, so our next chit coming out as part of the attack is Hooker again. Alright, Hooker gets the next chit draw. Okay, so with Hooker's attack, he's been getting some really good luck here, getting the jump on the Confederates, and the Confederates kind of reeling a bit. Lee's going to have to do something here to recover. We're going to look towards this side because Mansfield was also coming down with Greene and Williams. We want to try to keep up the attack. Problem is there's nothing sticking out. They get blasted by these cannons. 2, 3. So they could swing around. That would leave them vulnerable to counterattack. Or do they just dash over to try to take control of this? That would put them vulnerable and leave the flank open here a little bit. I was hoping Mansfield would fill in this gap quickly and go over there, but that's a tempting target because with that target we also get a positive modifier for the dice roll to get more AMs. So given that's open, 2, there would be 2 to there, 3, 2, 3, excuse me. But they'd have to stop. Sorry, they can't make it over to that, unfortunately, because their frontal hex stops them there, and that would stop them there. So they're blocked right there from getting in. They could attack them again, try to go after them again. They'd need to have Christensen come up to cover these guns, which I think they're going to do. I think that's what they're going to do. Now, first off, we're going to have some artillery shots here. We're going to take Ricketts guns over here. I took that off. Again, shooting down the road at Ripley brigade down below there. So they are a strength of 2. They're an L, which is no modifiers in the open, so it's just a +2. They need a 9 or higher. 9, 11. So that's a cohesion check. Top unit. They're a 5. They roll a 7. So there's another unit that is withdrawn from the battle. So now we have 2 units off the board for the Confederates. Okay, sensing victory, or sensing success, Ricketts is going to push Hartsoff in to there, like so. They're going to need Christensen up like that to cover. It's dangerous because they're going to get a canister shot at them, but they're not too strong. So, anyways, we'll go with this one over here. So their defensive shot is going to be, they'll need a 7 or higher, +1 for the terrain, -1 for disordered. So it's a straight roll. They need a 7 or higher. They roll a 7, so they stop the attack. They stop the attack. Duryea is flipped over. He is now disordered. So that's a big stop for Hill's group over there to the left. Now in the center, we've got Meade. And he would really like to get Dunker Church right there. But there's guns. And Law is in there at a decent strength. And I'm just not sure they could do it, because if he moves up to there, they'll be involved with the attack. If he moves up into here, then it's just going to be a single hex attack. And those guns would be kind of devastating on them. They get a +2 on the dice roll. Oh, decisions. They're still both disordered, aren't they? Yeah. They could shift over and go after Ripley, but that would leave a big gap over here. Well, we've got Meade's guns. Sorry about my hand. Got Meade's guns to think about here first. So they could actually go after those reserve guns at Dunker Church, but Seymour's in the way. And if we rolled low, 0, 1, or 2, they would suffer damage. They're a +3. So, yeah, better not take the chance. So they'll fire straight ahead again. So it'll be going over the heads of Magdalen, because they're up higher. It'll be +3 for strength, nothing for range, -1 for terrain, or excuse me, nothing for terrain, +3, so 9 or better with a +3, roll a 4, it's a miss. It is a miss, so they have fired. That's all for them. So now, these guys will try to recover, so they're not moving at all. These folks, actually, he could actually be useful by moving up and not engaging an attack. Of course, he is covered there, but he will move up, and at least it'll prevent them from recovering, because they're 7 against 5 in the woods. Yeah, that's not real great. He'll just move up to prevent them from recovering, and then those 2 units, Seymour and Anderson, again try to recover. So first one is Seymour. He needs a 5 or less. Rolls a 9 again. His brigade is just not wanting to move. And then Anderson is a 5. Rolls a 7. Both of them are not moving up. Okay, last one is Doubleday. So Doubleday his guns will continue to move forward. They will go 2, 5, 2, 5. All right, so they've fired, or they've moved. No firing. Now they've pushed back Stuart pretty good. I'd like to get them into attack, particularly go after Lawton's troops just over here to the left and help provide support for the center. Particularly with Gibbon. 1, 3, 4. You could get in there. It'll be 9 against 6. It would be uphill, open ground. Uphill, up 1 level is a -1. Yes, it is. It's a -1. So 7 +2. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. All right, let's bring Gibbon. He'll go 1 to there, 2, 3. Oh, actually 1, 2, and then under him for 3. We're going to bring Phelps back 1, 2, 3. Lawton's guns. +2, -1. This would be +1 on the defensive fire. That was a 7 or higher. I'd like to push back those guns a little bit too. Well, let's try it. Bring him over like so, and these guys will attack. Let's see, where does Doubleday wind up? Doubleday winds up here. 1, 2. That'll still be out of command, but that's okay. All right, so first attack I think we'll do is over here. With them, so the defensive fire is going to be, they'll need a 7, or excuse me, 6 or higher. So 7 or higher, I should say. There's a -1 for the woods underneath. Yep, there's woods underneath. There's -1 for disorder. So it's -2. So it's 7 with a -2. Roll an 8 brings us down to a 6. They are okay. So the attack continues. And this will be on 3 + 3 is 6 against 9. That's a 3 to 2. It's +1. +1 for the attack. They're up a slope, so that's going to be -1. And then the cohesion, there's a +1 for the union on the cohesion. I believe, yeah, +1 for the union on the cohesion. So +2 on the dice roll. So they need a 5 or better. You roll a 6, +2 is 8. That does it. So they have to retreat and then potentially disorder. So now the retreat, I think, has to go this way. Yeah. So they'll come this way. This one first. So he'll be 6. They're all there okay. And then the next one here, they are also 6. Well, 0. They're okay. Okay, so now highest cohesion has to advance. That's going to be Gibbon. And they break out of the Westwood. Okay. Next one we have is Lawton's guns. In a kind of a little bit of a desperate situation over there. So the defensive fire, this is going to be the big roll. They need to roll a 7 or greater. They're artillery firing at a single target, so it's +2. They're firing into woods, which is a -1. So it's just going to be a +1. Needs a 7 or higher. They do roll a 7. So 7 goes to 8, so they're disordered. And that stops the attack. Okay. So that's all for Hooker. Made some good gains over there for the attack. And let's go on to the next one, which is going to be, ooh, we're back to Stuart again. Stuart's cavalry. So Stuart's second. He will, I think he's got to recover. He's got his units out of the way. Nobody's threatening him. And I think their units are going to recover. But what I'm going to look at is to see if artillery can make any shots. I think Jones is here. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the cornfield. Yeah, he should be able to do that. It's a range of 4, strength of 2 is an L, so there's no modifiers beyond the strength. Cornfield doesn't have any issues. So we're looking at a 9 with a plus 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. That does it. So cohesion check. Phelps needs a 6 or less. Rolls a 0, so he's okay. So he has fired. Stuart is not going to be able to see Phelps. He's a bit far away too. And I don't think he has the angle on... No, he's blocked over here. Doesn't have the angle. So Stuart won't fire there as well. Will he reposition though? Potentially get a shot for the next turn? That's a good question. Right now Jackson hasn't moved yet. I think Stuart's artillery will move up like this. He will stay where he is, he will stay where he is, and he will also stay where he is. So now let's do some recoveries. Fitzhugh Lee A needs a 6 or less. Rolls a 7, doesn't get it. And then Fitzhugh C is a 5 or less. Rolls a 7, doesn't get it. So they're still stuck out there like that. So that's all for Stuart. Okay. Now, next one we're going to have is Longstreet. Okay, we've got Longstreet moving up. So let me give you the wide angle on this. Okay, so you can see what the board looks like right now. So with Longstreet, we've got Walker down here, we've got J.R. Jones over here, and we've got Hood right here. And then slightly off camera for now, I won't tilt it down because there's not much to see, is McLaws moving up. When I do move them, I will show them to you. Plus the reserve artillery. So let me take a look at the reserve artillery and see how they're set up here. Those are Jackson's. There's a reserve here. These are all reserves. Yeah. Okay, not much with the reserve artillery except this one here, which I think needs to pivot, but I'll wait and see here. We do have Law up here holding out, and Hood's batteries back here and here, looking to provide some strength and defense. Not a lot to do. I know Law wants to recover. I think that's going to be what he needs to do first. Batteries will not fire at anybody. There's nothing in sight for them. It's more just a question of, do we want to move them up or just leave them where they are? And I think they're pretty good where they are. Actually, I will move Hood A up to there. and then that's it. So we're going to try to recover 2 of Hood's brigades that had been disordered. It's going to be Law A right here. So he needs a 6 or less. Rolls a 4. So he's back in good shape. Leave him over here for a moment. And then Wolford's, he's a 6 or less. Rolls an 8. He doesn't recover. All right. So we get one of the 2. And that's all for Hood. Now, Dr. Jones, I think he may, I think he's going to shift some of his units again up here to help out. Yeah, I think we're going to bring GT Anderson 2, 3, 4, like so, and then bring Walker 1, 2, 3. Drayton 1, 2, and then Garnett over 1. Jones himself is going to come up with a battery, his gun battery here in the field. 1, 2, 3, 4. He should still be in range of his units. Kemper is going to come up 1, 2 to there. I'm just going to leave Toombs by himself over there for now. Okay. Walker, he's in good position. I don't think there's anything that really needs to change down south here. And then we have McLaws. Okay, so let me reposition here, and you can see McLaws. Okay, so McLaws is back here on the road, just crossed the Potomac, and he has strategic movement, of course, so he can move up to 6. We'll also get, oh yes, we also get Anderson's units coming on board as well. So I should put these folks over here. Oh, I just lost a piece. I'll set him up here in a little bit. All right, so McLaws moving up the road. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, and just position like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back there, and now they'll move across 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then these guys will move 2, 5, 6, 7, and then they'll come in and stop there. So a little stretched out on the road there, but he'll be okay. Then we have the other units here of Anderson's brigade, and we'll have them move up the road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Face that way. We'll get him over there. We'll get him there. Him there. There. And there. Anderson will be someplace in the middle, and his guns, including the one that fell off the board, will come in behind. I'll get them there in a little bit. Okay, so after all of that, Hooker's counterattack, or excuse me, not counterattack, but attack, fairly successful. Let me reposition so you can see. To the north, he has pushed down very close to the Dunker Church. and is in a good position to potentially capture it if he can get some of his units back in line from Meade and Seymour, Meade and Ricketts back here as well. We do have just to the north, slightly off camera here, is Green's division, and then just over here we have Williams' division coming in to support it. So Hooker's attack has been fairly successful. I'm going to pause it here and put this video out as the 6:30 turn, Hooker's attack, and then I'll also have a second video with this that will be the continuation of the 6:30 turn 2, to do the rest, where it'll have Jackson's response and Mansfield's advance there as well. So, appreciate you watching this. Hopefully you're enjoying. Just a couple of comments here. Anything that I've missed, got wrong, incomplete, played differently, consider that a human fog of war issue. And again, this is more for the playthrough and just kind of simulating the 160th anniversary of the attack and kind of feeling through some of the issues, decisions, complications and things of the battle itself. So hope you're enjoying this. See you on the next video.